Oh, there was a woman and she lived on her own. She slaved on her own and she skivvied on her own. She'd 2 little girls and 2 little boys, and she lived all alone with her husband. For her husband, he was a hunk of a man, a drunk of a man and a skunk of a man. He was a hunk of a drunken skunk of a man, such a boozing, bruising husband. For he would come home drunk each night. He'd thrash her black and he'd thrash her white. He'd thrash her too within an inch of her life. Then he slept like a log, did her husband. One night she gathered her tears all round her shame. She thought of the bruising and cried with the pain. Ah, you'll not do that ever again, for I'll not live with a drunken husband. And as her husband laid and snored in bed, a strange old thought came into her head. She went for the needle, went for the thread, and went straight into her sleeping husband. Well, she started to stitch with a girlish thrill, with a woman's heart and a seamstress skill. She bibbed and tucked with an iron will, all around her sleeping husband. Oh, the top sheet, the bottom sheet too, the mattress stitched to the blanket through. She stitched and stitched the whole night through. Then she waited the dawn and her husband. And when her husband awoke with a pain in his head, he found that he could not move in bed. Sweet Christ, I've lost the use of my legs. But this woman just smiled at her husband, for in her hand she held a frying pan, and with a flutter in her heart she'd given him a land. He could not move and he cried, God damn! Don't you swear, she says to her husband. Well, she thrashed him black and she thrashed him blue, with a frying pan and a colander too, with the rolling pin just a stroke or two. Such a battered and bleeding husband. She says, if you come home drunk anymore, I'll stitch you in and I'll thrash you more. Then I'll pack me bags and I'll be out the door, for I'll not live with a drunken husband. And isn't it true what small can do with a needle and thread and a stitch or two? He's wiped his slate and his boozing's through. It's goodbye to the drunken husband. Oh, dear me.